That is the plot twist of this year. So can you surrender that and just allow consciousness to show you? And as you step into your own sovereignty, an aligned partnership will come in for you that will match your vibration. And it's to know that you deserve the highest form of love, that you deserve source in a physical vessel through this time is coming in. So what the message at this time in 2025 for twin flames, can you let go of the attachment to the identity and the person who you think is your twin flame? Can you surrender that? Can you simply... There's going to be a medley of channeled messages today. So Lord Ganesh is coming in now. And Buddha is also coming in. So Buddha is just saying to get beyond the ego mind, to connect with the heart. And Green Tara is the beautiful divine mother of compassion and wisdom.
Hi, this is Akanksshaa. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. If you resonate with me, please like, comment, and share. Welcome to Multidimensional Soul Podcast and a Talk Show. On this show, we talk about deep spiritual and mystical experiences of people which we normally shy away talking about. We are more than our physical body. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. And we discuss how a soul exists on multiple dimensions. We discuss science, technology, and spirituality point of views and perspectives on this show. Our purpose is to open our minds to limitless possibilities and our hearts to love and shine the light within bright. We have with us today Neelam Sareen, who is a quantum alchemist and channeler and healer, and all the way from UK. Namaste, and it is honor to have you here. A very warm welcome.
Thank you so much. Namaste to you as well. And it's lovely to be here with you. Thank you for having me on.
Can you share a little bit about your journey, how you got into channeling and healing and all your experiences?
It was later on in life for me. I mean, when I was younger, I used to go to the temple with my parents. I have a Hindu background, and we'd go to the temple with my parents, and I'd sit there and I'd watch people trying to, fight over the microphone and this is the truth and this is the truth. And I used to look at the goddesses and gods and think, we were missing the pure essence of the messages. And I knew that as a child that, we're missing the essence of the pure messages from the divine. And I went through my journey, and I was an accountant in the corporate world. I went into becoming a director and working for the big American companies. And it wasn't till later when I went through like a depression, and it was my awakening where I started to go and learn to meditate. It was like I needed to, I didn't want to go on to Prozac or antidepressants. I had to find my way, and I knew I was very lost at that time. I'd been looking after my mother-in-law through cancer for a very long time. I'd left my corporate career, and everything I knew about myself, my identity was being stripped, and I didn't know. I was so lost. And that's when I turned to meditation, and I started to do meditation every day. I learned. And when I learned meditation, I started to see things, and I started to receive messages. And I always felt like I had to watch my mother-in-law's journey with cancer to understand suppression of emotions and trauma and what gets locked so deeply, buried within us. And it started me on a journey of just knowing that I had to help people with suppressed emotions. That was so important to me. And then the healing work started. I learned about energy through meditations. I started to see things in the body. And I learned about, energy work, and it just opened up a whole new world for me. I could see into the body. I could see into other lifetimes. I could see into other dimensions. And then I realized that, no, I've got to help people, that this is my vocation. It started off as a hobby, as something I did, to friends and family. And then it just became something worldwide over time. And I knew it happened so fast. I knew that this was my my path as a soul, that this is what I had to come to earth to share in this lifetime. So I love what I do. Helping people is why I'm here. Helping them release emotions is just key for us to become our divine selves and help them navigate their life and their life lessons here on earth. So yeah, it's very beautiful.
So, can you tell us who all guide you from higher dimensions? Is it your higher self? Any other guides? Can you describe them? And you have also mentioned that you are a Blu-ray being. So, can you talk about that? How did you discover that?
So at first, when I started to do healing, it was with the angels. I knew I had a connection with the angels, and Archangel Michael was one of the guys that came straight in to work with me. And then he guided me to workshops and circles, angelic circles. So it was the angels that came in first, and then it was the divine feminine goddesses started to come in. And Isis was one of the first ones to come in, as was Goddess Lakshmi, Green Tara, Mother Mary, and the Kuan Yin. So they all started to come in one at a time. Aphrodite, Mary Magdalene, they also started to come into my space, Saraswati as well. And I started to channel their messages. So that's when I started my YouTube channel. So I would just get this message. So I'd be cooking one day, and it was usually when I was cooking, and I was cooking away, and I'd get an image of a being. And then next minute I'd get a download, and I had to grab a piece of paper and a pen and write the message down. And after a while, I had quite a few messages, collected. And I thought, I've got to share these gems with people. How do I share this? And one day my friend came round and he said to me, he started crying as he was reading the messages. And he said to me, Neelam, you have to share this somewhere. And I said, well, where do I share it? And that's when YouTube started. So I'd put an image of the goddess, and then I channeled the message of them. So there are many messages, if you look back over time, of Saraswati, of Mother Mary, of Aphrodite, of there's just so many. There's many Indian goddesses there as well. So and that's how the channeling started, and that's how it continued. And then next came the star beings. So the Arcturians were the first to come through. And then it went on to the Andromedans and then the Palladians. I didn't even know who these beings were, but they started to come through. And then I started to work with them. So it was a gradual process for me as I expanded my consciousness. Next level and layer of beings started come through. And now, like, we go up to the 22nd dimension, we go to different star systems. I've been going to lots of different star systems for many years. The guides, they come in and they invite me to go and see their dimensions, to see their technologies. I am an energy and frequency transmitter. So I transmit the frequencies from those dimensions and the frequency from the beings, and just so that we can feel their love and know that what's truly around us in the cosmos, which is something that we can lose sight of here on Earth because our vision is so single focused. Yet we are surrounded by beings. They're everywhere around us. And it's so, what I help souls to do is to connect with that level of pure love, which helps us release the density and the emotional trauma in the body. So they started to come through, and I've channeled Source, and there's just so many beings. I mean, it's infinite how many beings from the I Am councils as well. Buddha played a big part in my life, helping me to calm the mind and get beyond the mind into the heart, connecting with peace and stillness. And yeah, and then it just continued. So last year, I've always known, like, when people say to me, where do you come from, Neelam? Like, souls know where, if they come from Arcturus, or if they come from the Pallades or Andromeda or the Orion star system. I don't come from any of them. It's like no one can track where I come from. They know that it's like from a very long way away. And so I've had lifetimes in these star systems, but I'm not from them. I'm not from them, so I can channel them, but I'm not from them, and no one can find my origin, not even me. But I was told that I'm a Blu-ray. So as a Blu-ray, you are a transmuter of energy. You're an alchemist. So you transmute, and transform the energy in the body. And also we work quantumly, cosmically as well for the universe, multidimensionally. So as a Blu-ray, I'm able to see into the body, see into the cells, see into the field, and we work with many beings. We're not just one type, of being. We are multidimensional, and we can work on many layers and many levels. So Blu-rays are very deeply compassionate. They are heart-centered. They're here to support humanity's evolution, but they're not just connected to one race or one type of being. They are everything. They are source, and that frequency of source love and source codes is what they transmit here on the earth. So it's very beautiful. And my name is also Neelam, which means blue. So everything about it is the blue, and blue is the transmuting, this the transmutation energy of clearing density and bringing back the pure essence of love, which is really beautiful. So
Yeah, absolutely beautiful and fascinating that you work across 22 dimensions. When you said that you work across dimensions and across layers, and you can actually see the cells of somebody's body, can you tell us about some experiences of your clients where you could work through the emotional healing at the cellular level, at the DNA level, and how these multidimensional beings could help you in that?
So when I go in, I can, well, they show themselves to me. So the beings that want to work with the soul will come through. And so I go into, first I see the emotional trauma that they've stored in their cells. And then below that are their gifts. Like I look at people's souls' gifts and what their potentials are and what, they've assigned to in this lifetime to experience and explore. But I see all this density, and that has to be cleared to get to the gifts of the soul. So we have to go and face the shadow, the fears, the limiting beliefs and the resistance and restrictions, and any past life karmic contracts that we have, to get to the bottom of the gifts that lie at the bottom of our ocean, that are the gifts of our soul. So different beings will come through to work with different souls. Depends on their higher self as well, and their connection depends as well, which guides can support them the most. I invite the entire cosmos in to work with me, and then the guides start to come through from different dimensions as well. And then we just go in, and like an X-ray vision, I go in and look at I'll see them as a child. Maybe they got childhood trauma that's blocking their way from, the next part of their journey. So we work with the inner child. I may see things from past life. Their past lives are not really past, present, and future, where everything's happening right now. But we'll go into those lifetimes and clear the trauma there so that we can remove obstacles as well, and so that the soul can evolve and move forward. In the beginning, when I started to do this work, like I could go into the cells and I could see what they were carrying. I would literally see myself swimming in their blood. Like I'd go into the water, and I remember doing a session on my dad, and I said to my dad that, he was losing blood for a year and a half. He was losing blood, and they were giving him blood transfusions. And I said to the doctors that no, it's not his, it's not his heart. They thought it was his heart. And I kept saying to them, it's not his heart. He has a cut in his stomach lining. Like I can see it with my eyes closed. There is a cut in his stomach lining, and on the top and on the side. And nobody would believe the healer in those days. No one wanted to believe me. And I kept going on about it and saying, you need to look in his stomach, not his heart. Eventually, they put a camera up and they found that there were 2 cuts in his stomach lining, and that's where he was bleeding from. So, things like that I was able to help my clients. Or if there was a sickness or a condition in the body, there was a reason for it. Like, what was the reason? Why did you choose to have this condition? And once we make the connection of how the body is trying to show us the lesson, the body can start to heal. But it's connecting with that core wound and the core lesson of why we chose the condition that we chose. And that's what I try and get to, the root of the condition, not the condition itself, but beyond the condition of why you chose to have that experience. So, cancer can be anger in the body. It is anger. It's anger, resentment, suppression of emotions that have built up over time. time that then eat away at the cells. So, and then we try and get to the core of the resentment and the anger, and heal it at the core level, so that then the body can release the anger that is stored in all the cells. So it depends on the client. It depends on what they come here to experience. When we go and look and transmute, transform, transfigure, and bring in pure source light and love to help them alchemize and ascend. Yeah, so it's beautiful work that we do here on the planet.
Such a blessing, huge blessing it is. When you mentioned that you need to actually go to the root cause of why this is happening in the body, and yes, definitely all the emotions do get stored in body's parts as memories. But at times there are karmas across the lifetimes because of which also we suffer. So if there is some karmic blueprint that is there, how can we work around that and get rid of the karmic debts?
Yeah, we are clearing a lot of karmic debts in this lifetime because many souls are choosing not to come back to this level of density. And so for many souls, this is their last incarnation here, and I hear that very often. So we are clearing our karmic board right now, and everything is about balance. So, I did accountancy and I never understood why I did accountancy, but life is a balance sheet. Like, we've got to get our debits and credits right. We've got to get our masculine and feminine right. We got to get, the balance of the ego and the heart right, and in balance. There's no right or wrong, but there's just the constant balance. The universe is also in a harmonic balance, constantly balanced. And the whales and the dolphins are balancing the electromagnetic fields on Earth. They are balancing, the mountains are balancing. So nature is balancing us. The trees are balancing us. So we are in this constant state of finding balance in life. And we must balance our karmic scale. So anything we didn't learn in other lifetimes, we are clearing it in this lifetime. So you may be going through, a lot of souls are going through a lot of heaviness, a lot of soul lessons all accumulated into one lifetime. But we've chosen it. We've chosen to go through, clear our karmic board, learn our lessons at record speeds, and then catapult into the higher vibrations in this lifetime. So if you've had a tough journey, and if you are a tough soul who likes a challenge, you would have had a lot of challenges in this life. And if there was lifetimes where, you hadn't learned your karmic lesson, it's coming out and it's playing out in this lifetime. And we have the evolution and the evolved consciousness now, and also the assistance and the support in the world to help us handle, understand, heal, and evolve from that karmic debt. So we are balancing the karmic scales right now so that we can move into neutrality. And when we move into neutrality, we then ascend into the fifth dimension and beyond. But we must come back to neutrality, pure love, forgiveness of the past as well, forgiveness of souls in the past, understanding the lesson that you played out, understanding what you had to learn as a soul. And once you've made peace with the past, you then come back to this place of balance, and then you move in to your next soul lesson. So this is that lifetime of karmic retribution, rebalancing, and coming back to 0 point. Yeah. Big big work we've come to do in this lifetime.
Yeah. You mentioned that there is a lot of support available, and you also work with a lot of beings and you've been channeling them. Earlier, you mentioned that you used to get downloads. So now, do you use trance channeling to channel, or you're a conscious channel, or how does it work? And can we do some channeling now?
Yeah, we can do some channeling. I'm not a trance channel. I connect with the consciousness of the being, and then it comes through my voice and, my being. So it's a knowing for me. It's like they appear, and then I bring through the words. So the words, they come holographically to me. I see them holographically, and then I just start to speak, and I bring in the frequency of their energy. So you'll feel the frequency of their love, the frequency of the words. So it's not so much the words, but it's the energy of the message that is coming, and it's also activating within the soul who's receiving the message as well. So you might feel energy moving through your heart, energy moving in your stomach. You might feel popping going on in your stomach and your solar plexus. So it's the frequency of their love that is being transmitted. So that's how I transmit the energy and the messages of the being. So it's always through consciousness and through my heart, connection with my heart. So we'll see who wants to come through at this time.
Okay.
Let me just close my eyes and connect. And I'm seeing two beings at the moment, Lord Ganesh and also Krishna. So they both reside in the 12th dimension. Krishna is helping us connect with our joy and also our expression. And as he plays his flute, he's reminding us to allow ourselves to express through our throat chakra, which is really important. Expression of our soul self, expression, not suppression now in this lifetime, expression, not suppression. Allow your voice to sing its unique soul sound and soul tone. Allow yourselves to express your entire being in this lifetime. No suppression of the self, but total expression of the self. And if you have issues with your throat chakra, it's to connect with Lord Krishna and to imagine him playing the flute through your throat, just to clear your sound. Your soul sound is wanting to be activated, dear ones. Your soul sound is wanting to come online. Can you allow your soul sound to come through you? Can you allow, without judgment, your soul sound to come through you? Because we are here to help you ascend to new vibrations. And as you ascend to new vibrations, your expression is really key on the earth. To let go of the ego mind and how you perceive your personality and reality to look. Can you simply allow your soul to express through you and allow your unique soul sound to be vibrated into the cosmos through your being, into the metaverse, into the multiverse, through you, your soul sound to be expressed through you, through this time. So that is Lord Krishna's message, and just wants you to feel his vibration of joy and love and freedom and flow and playfulness. And he brings the energy of playfulness, childlike play. Remember to play and play often. Remember, joy comes from when we allow our innocence to come online, when we play, joyful play. And that helps with our creations as well. It helps us to birth our creations in the physical world when we allow ourselves to play in our innocence and in our purity. And that's beautiful. I can feel his energy in the solar plexus as he channels his energy through us. And a lot of our fears sit in our solar plexus, where we doubt ourselves, where we hold ourselves back, where we think we are not good enough. And he says, let all of that go and just sing your soul sound, sing your soul sound. So thank you, Lord Krishna. Thank you for that message. There's going to be a medley of channeled messages today. So Lord Ganesh is coming in now. And if you are facing any obstacles in your life, it's to see Lord Ganesh with his trunk, removing the obstacles from your path. You can just see him doing this, clearing the path in front of you. With his trunk, clearing the path in front of you. All obstacles are being removed from my path now. All obstacles are being removed from my path now. All obstacles and challenges are being removed from my path now. And you can invite Lord Ganesh in to help you with that. And he is very present at this time, helping us to connect with our freedom, the liberation of our soul, understanding limitations and old beliefs that now want to be removed from your life and your consciousness, relationships that have been holding you back, surrendering them to the divine and helping you to learn the lessons from them so that you can move forward on your path, to trust your path, to trust yourselves, to trust the unknown path, because we are holding your hands and guiding you every step of the way. Know that obstacles are being removed from your path as we speak, dear ones, and call me in. to light up the path in front of you. So just take a deep breath and just feel Lord Ganesh's energy moving through your vessel. Again, it's going to the solar plexus, giving you courage and strength to follow your own unique path. And that may not be accepted by others, and that takes courage to follow your own unique path, your soul's path, that you have chosen to follow and experience and anchor and embody in this lifetime. Your soul's higher path you have chosen to anchor and embody in this lifetime. So allow it, he says, allow it. Buddha is also coming in. And it's really interesting. It's the divine masculines that are coming in at this time, because it is the divine masculine energy that is needed to clear the path for the creative energy to flow through. So for the feminine energy to flow through, the divine masculines are coming in to anchor and assist the divine feminine energies in anchoring the dreams and the creations here on earth. So Buddha is just saying to get beyond the ego mind, to connect with the heart, to trust your heart, to trust the vibrations of love that want to emanate and embody in your heart, and open your heart. Through this time, it is about opening your perspective. As you open your heart, you will open your perspective to see consciousness in a whole new way. You are going to see consciousness in a whole new way through this time. Can you allow it, dear ones? Can you allow any emotions that sit in your heart, any sadness, any grief, any pain, any hurt to dissolve, so that you can truly see beyond what you have known and understand consciousness in a whole new way? And that requires you to step beyond the ego mind and into the heart. So stillness of mind through meditation will help you to connect with your heart. Goddess Saraswati is coming in, and she's all about creative play, music and dance, creativity, connecting with the creations of your soul and what your soul wants to anchor. To remember that you are fertile within, to connect with the fertility of your soul, and to allow your soul gifts to flourish and bloom like flowers. Remember, you are pure and divine, and she always wears a white sari, and she reminds us to sit with she sits with a harp, she sits by the water, she sits in creative flow. She is the goddess of creative expression, and she just asks us to birth our creations through this time, and not to suppress, but to allow, to bring your color to the surface, to allow the wisdom from your sacral, from your creative expression, to rise. And she says you can listen to soft music when you connect with creativity, to be fluid and flexible as well, and flowing like the harp and the sounds of water, to soften into flow, the divine feminine, so that you can tap into your creative expressions. And you mentioned Green Tara, and Green Tara is here. And Green Tara is the beautiful divine mother of compassion and wisdom, and the divine feminine Buddha that reminds us that liberation is the way for us as a soul in this lifetime if we choose it. Freedom of our consciousness, not to restrict our consciousness, but to allow. There's no right or wrong beyond where we are now, where we are going. There is no right or wrong, simply experiences for the soul that create sustenance in the soil, that creates wisdom and richness in your soil. And wisdom is key for us to ascend, and the life lessons give us that wisdom, and so does the suffering and the challenges. They give us a sustenance for our soil. They make our soil rich with wisdom and lessons and growth. so that we can become teachers and assist others through their journey. Soul maturity, soul essence, soul magnetism comes from our experiences, dear ones. So to have compassion with your journeys and to understand what you chose and why you chose to experience what you chose, but to open your hearts in compassion. When you've experienced trauma, you can go on to help others with theirs, and you'll have so much compassion for them. And compassion is the healer of this time. Compassion for your brothers and sisters of the light and their journeys. And that's how we will heal the planet and heal the world. So connect with your compassion and remember to have compassion first with yourselves. And when you have compassion with yourselves, you can have deep compassion for others. So just feel the energy of green Tara in your beautiful heart space, helping you to heal with the vibration of compassion. And we're just going to hold that energy for a few moments so that you can fully receive. Just taking a deep breath and receiving all the wisdom, the energy, the light codes, the frequencies, the colors, and the beautiful love from all the pure beings of light. Thank you. So lovely. So beautiful. A lot of energy was going to the solar plexus today, so clearing the way. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, really beautiful. Solar plexus and throat chakras, especially important for divine feminine creative expression. And now we have divine feminine rising, especially in the ascension as we are moving in the higher vibration. So, can you talk about this dynamics and significance of divine masculine, divine feminine, their roles, and what is it that the twin flames are doing for the collective right now?
So there's a lot in that question, so I'll try and break it down. So, we have been in a very masculine world up until now, where we've been connecting with our mind and our ego. And through this time, the divine feminine energy is rising. So we are getting back to the creations of our soul, connecting with our soul gifts and soul technologies. And we are rebalancing the earth. We are rebalancing ourselves so that we can connect with our divine feminine within. We have masculine and we have feminine within. Our left-hand side of our body is our feminine energy, and the right side is the masculine. So the doing and the being coming into balance. We're learning to become human beings rather than human doings. There's a time for being and there's a time for doing. There's a time for receptivity and there's a time for giving. And we have been so used to giving, doing, that we're learning to receive for ourselves, receive and fill ourselves up, love ourselves. And then we give from our overflow, which is the energy of the divine feminine. She gives from her overflow. So we are healing our toxic feminine. We are healing our wounded feminine. We are healing the wounds of other lifetimes where the feminine was suppressed within us. And the divine feminine energy is rising. So the divine feminine energy is not necessarily female or masculine or male. It is an energy within us that we all have. But women are rising so fast at this time. Women are rising and awakening at a rapid speed at this time. And what that's doing is it's awakening the men to rise into their divine masculine energy through this time. And this is the work that the twin flames are doing on the planet. The twin flames are working through this energetic of masculine, feminine, healing their wounded masculine, healing their wounded feminine, trying to find this sacred union with him. And then they are helping the planet to ascend to new vibrations of sacred union, source consciousness, divine union within as well, so that we can connect back to our divine source and our divine sovereignty. So the twin flames are breaking down the current structures of the templates of masculine, feminine, love, as well as going to go through a whole other up leveling and understanding of love and divine love. and the patterns that we've played into, the codependency, dependency, and those old structures of marriage as well, and conformity, and institutionalization of structures. It's all breaking down so that the soul is free to rise and fly and dance and play. So the divine feminine energy is rising at this time within us. Compassion, creativity, sensitivity, sensuality, connecting with our sexual energy, which is our creative life force. And we've suppressed that within us, which is why there is so much depression on the planet, because we've disconnected from our source and our life force. And that is what's rising through this time, because we cannot reach those higher states of joy and enlightenment unless we've connected with our true desires and our dreams and our sexual energy and our sexual power, which is our life force. So a lot happening through this time, a lot of shifts through this time, and us getting back to who we are on a soul level, connecting with our divine gifts. Some souls are connecting with like plant medicine or sound or healing or a sacred art, channeling. We're all going through our process of evolution and discovery of our soul self, and that is the divine feminine essence and energy, and she's the creatrix. She's births the the ideas, and then the divine masculine energy goes out and spreads it across the world and paves the way. So it's really beautiful what happened in the channeling. Krishna came in. You have to connect with joy, playfulness, your innocence to create. Then, Lord Ganesh came in. So clearing the obstacles, clearing the old thoughts, the restrictions, the beliefs. Another divine masculine standing, clearing the path for the divine feminine to step forward. Buddha coming in to clear the mind, the masculine, to get to the heart, the feminine, so that we can connect with the feminine and connect with creativity. And then Saraswati stepped forward and Green Tara stepped forward, because the divine masculine and the divine masculine energy is clearing the path. The divine masculine energy is clearing the path. The toxic masculine blocks the path of the feminine. The divine masculine opens the path so that she can step forward and create her vision on the earth. And he helps that energy to anchor into the grids, and he supports her. And together they become a creative life force, a divine union working with source. So they create this holy trinity together, and they work in co-creation with the divine to anchor an enlightened world of consciousness and expression of the Trinity, the Holy Trinity on earth. So this is what the twin flames are doing, but they've had to go through their own process of coming into union within themselves, coming into union with each other, working together, working with source to then create something so powerful on the earth. So we are working on many layers, on many levels. We are working with our own divine masculine, divine feminine. We are healing our own wounds through this time. And then we are co-creating with another to act as mirrors for other, so that we can ascend into our wholeness and our sovereignty. So it's a huge area, but that's really what we're going through at this time. So it's very beautiful.
I can resonate so much. I myself being on a twin flame journey. You mentioned that the divine masculine clears the path for the divine feminine to enter. But many times twin flame journey is so complex that there is a runner chaser dynamic, and the masculine gets scared and runs away, and uses his free will to not follow the twin flame journey, and it can go to years. Before we started, you mentioned that there are some shifts in the perspective and some changes at the cosmic level that are happening, and something different is going to happen in 2025 in the twin flames. So can you talk about that?
Yeah. So, we are going through a new space of consciousness where our identities are dissolving, our attachment to our identities are dissolving, and even the attachment to the twin flame and who you think it might be for you. Spirit and source is asking you to surrender that, because the twin flame energy, the energy of the divine masculine, is an energy. Like, we are going beyond the personality to just the energy the feminine energy and the masculine energy. Now, as you evolve, I have experienced the twin flames. They change. They do change. You can invite in a soulmate at any time. So if you're tired of your twin flame journey and you don't want to continue it, you can tell spirit, I do not want to continue on this journey. It's too difficult for me. I want to opt out. You can then invite in a soulmate. And the moment you let go of that energy, a soulmate will come in for you. And often we don't think that soulmate will come in, but they do come in. Now, if you continue on the twin flame journey, there's a runner and a chaser. And that's what, twin flames experience, the runner and the chaser. The moment one stops chasing, the runner stops running. And that's really key, that one will be an overgiver and one will be a runner who runs away from their emotions and their connection with their heart. The moment one stops running, comes into their power, stops waiting, stops spending all their energy looking at the other, and starts to focus on their own light and building their own consciousness and following their own soul's path and steps into their own power and empowerment. If the divine feminine does that, the divine masculine will stop running because it's an energetic. If she's chasing and she's an over anxious person that keeps chasing and trying to prove herself to the masculine, he's not going to see that because she's not seeing that in herself. Her own divine masculine in herself needs to see that. So she needs to come into balance and harmony within herself. And then the divine masculine will start to come back. It's like an elastic band, come back into this space. And then there's no running. And then there's this process of shadow work, seeing, understanding, connecting. I do a beautiful session for souls where the divine feminine, divine masculine, they start to work together and harmonize their frequencies, and then they come into union, and then they come into oneness with source. So the twin flame journey, there are many layers and levels to it. There are many twin flames, and this is something that is, souls may not like to hear, but this might be my experience of it, and so I have to share from my perspective. Different souls come in at different times to wake you up to the next level of your consciousness. So a twin flame may come into your life to wake you up, to open up your sacral, open up your chakras, and then you go to the next level. At this next level, then another soul will come in when you're ready for your next level of awakening. They will wake you up. Sometimes we can get so attached to one person that we don't allow ourselves to grow. So this is a lesson and a journey in flow, surrender, detachment, learning to let go, and knowing it's an energetic, learning what they're showing you as well. And ultimately, there is a divine union for souls if they've chosen it. So they will start on the twin flame journey. Some twin flames will make it and become divine union, where they are one with source, and they are here to bring a new level of consciousness and a new relationship dynamic to earth. But not everyone gets to that because they get caught up in the runner chaser, and that can go on for years and years and years. And that's what you have to break, And there are so many channels out there. There are so many YouTube channels on this topic. You will resonate with different ones. But if you are constantly in this, he's thinking of you today and he's not thinking about you, you've got to come back to yourself. Otherwise, you can get caught up in a loop. And you can end up watching all these videos and you just stay stuck, and you can get stuck in trauma bonds. You've got to be very careful that it's not a trauma bond. You're not accepting the ghosting and the narcissistic treatment from another, that you respect yourself to know what you deserve. So this is a real journey of self-love, self-empowerment, coming back to your own sovereignty. And as you step into your own sovereignty, an aligned partnership will come in for you. That will match your vibration. And it's to know that you deserve the highest form of love, that you deserve source in a physical vessel, and that through this time is coming in. So what the message at this time in 2025 for twin flames is, can you let go of the attachment to the identity and the person who you think is your twin flame? Can you surrender that? Can you simply connect with the energy of divine union and the energy of the divine masculine that source creator wants to bring in for you to meet you at the level that you are at and the level that you've got yourself into? So this is the dissolving the identity now to get back to oneness. and what source wants to bring in for you, and that will match you at the level of consciousness you are at. So this is what the message is for 2025. Let go, surrender the identity, and just connect with the energy and watch what comes in to your vibration. So we're going to a very new space.
All of us have got this concept or idea that we have only one twin flame. And what you're talking about is the frequency at which we evolve. God may bring, or the source may bring in another person with the exact same frequency. But this is what is known widely is twin flames are two souls of the exact core soul frequency, or they are monadic twin flames, as in the soul actually splits into two bodies, and then that is one soul splitting into two bodies is monadic twin flames. So, if when you say that somebody else may come, then will that be a twin flame? Will that be a soulmate, or we should not give any labels at all?
I think I feel, and what I receive is to let go of the identities, because we can get very fixed on how the soul, the twin flame needs to look for us. Many souls who think that they are in a twin flame connection are actually experiencing trauma bonds and karmic bonds. And so the twin flame connection is two souls that are keys to each other's hearts, and they're an exact fit. But they will come in when we are ready for that level of that. I believe that is divine union. So it's another label, but it's the ultimate union. So other souls will come along through your journey to help you get back to your sovereignty. There are many different perspectives, and through this time, we will see many different perspectives. Many may not like what I'm saying here, but this is how I've received this guidance and how Source shows me the divine feminine, the divine masculine, divine unions through this time. And it's to let go. It really is to surrender the identities and the perceptions we've had from the past, to allow this new level of consciousness to come in. It's about the energetics rather than a certain person that you believe, that you may have believed in lower consciousness or at a lower level of consciousness is your twin flame. Now, as you evolve, can you simply connect with the energetics of what that your twin flame or your divine masculine or divine feminine could be? Can you just simply connect with the energetics and allow Source to show you who truly your twin flame divine union is? Yeah. And this is it. They're coming in to help us because we have big missions, and they're coming in to help us anchor those missions as proper divine masculine. So it's about open. Yeah. It's like that is almost an old game, because it's helped us evolve into our divine feminine. Right. And now the true divine masculine that Source wants for you can come in. Yeah. So this is where we are having to even now drop that level of consciousness and attachment, because we're dissolving back to oneness. So it's about heart to heart. Whoever's a vibrational match to your heart is now coming in. So that's what's beautiful. So this is where I think this will be a very controversial subject, because we're so attached to how the twin flame dynamic looks. But this is not where we're going with twin flames, because that's the plot twist of this year. That is the plot twist of this year. So can you surrender that and just allow consciousness to show you?
That is really a twist and a huge one. That
it is unusual, but it's like it's come in very early in 2025, which is what like Spirit is asking us to dissolve any attachment to how we think it should be, to let go of that and simply connect with the energy of it. Yeah, which is really powerful and fascinating.
Yeah. How can people connect with you?
So you can connect with me on my newsletter, my website, and you have all the details below. So I'm also on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on YouTube as well. I'll be sharing a lot on YouTube through this time. And also I offer various group sessions. One-to-ones are currently, they're currently closed, but we have group sessions, courses, retreats that we run regularly, so they can connect with me and through the newsletter and find out what we're offering. So straight after this session, I've got breathwork and meditation for January, and then we've got lots of different courses, magic mystery schools, Tesla technology we're working with. We're working with channeling courses, money as well, infinite abundance and 5D consciousness and the 5D money blueprint and the bank of souls. So there's lots that I offer, but they can connect with me through my social media platforms.
Thank you so much. It has really been a privilege having you here. Lovely to have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to connect with you and just to know here is where you operate from and to remember that your guides are with you. And it's been lovely to connect and speak to you today. So thank you for having me on your podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. And I look forward to hosting you again.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care. Thank you for watching and listening in wherever you are in the world. As Ramdas says, that we all are just walking each other home. So thank you for co-creating the new earth along with me and our guests. And if you resonate with me, do subscribe to my channel and do let us know how you find our episodes. Thank you so much. Lots of love.